Rarely has mankind hesitated to eradicate the creatures that stand in the path of his conquest. If we find ritual extirpation, undesirable natives of another world, the rest must be destroyed. Is it possible that our dark past should and pray?
Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, government agents, soapbox preachers, and anybody who might be listening. This is Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. We are back in the studio, which is actually just a bedroom. And by bedroom, I mean it's my bedroom. But it feels great to be back in person. I am Tasker, one of your hosts as usual, and we have the strikingly HD, gorgeous, no longer over the internet, Nick.
Everybody, I'm so fucking excited to be back in the studio that I'm rock hard. And I was not afraid to show that to Tasker when I came in today. I just came in, I dropped trowel. I was like, let's record this episode. Because you know what, buddy? Apparently half of our podcast at the point that it's at right now has been recorded remotely. I haven't been able to be naked in front of this guy in 13 weeks.
Yeah, it's crazy because the last time we recorded in person, was episode 13, and we are now recording is this episode 27. So yes, at this time of recording, half of our entire discography has been remote recording, and I realized that a big essential part of what gave our podcast the magic was seeing Nick's genitals just out and in the open, and like it's not quite the same as like over Discord or Skype or any of that stuff. So I mean, it feels real good. You could really smell it. It's like the difference between like jacking off to porn and actually having sex, you know?
Yeah, and you know, I kept it trimmed. I kept it looking good. Baby powder all over my balls, but also the reason my balls didn't look good over Discord for Tasker was because sometimes the connection cuts out or it gets a little wonky and it gets all pixelated. I'm like, what is this, a Japanese porno? I wanted an HD.
Well, you're lucky I'm used to that. I mean, you build a tolerance for it over time, kind of like you do for subtitles, per se.
Oh, Jesus, man. No, not this early. We can't do it this early. Look, I was just having a good time. I was just being comfortable being back in the room with you, and now I'm grossed out again.
I have a very active imagination, and that is because of the limitations that life has provided to me. And I have grown as a person to be able to fap at whatever I want, no matter the level of censorship.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna, stifle your creativity, but also at the same time, control your fucking boner, man.
Oh, thank you. And watch, this is going to be the episode where, like, in the future, hopefully we'll be doing a lot. We'll be really successful, and then my mom, who has long stopped listening to us, will
for the best,
for the better, for sure. We'll one day be like, oh, like, I'm so glad to hear about your podcast. Like, I'm going to listen. And this is the episode where it starts with me talking about how I'm able to get over censorship in porn.
Yes, you've come a long way.
Yes, come.
But yes, we're back in the studio. I know after last episode, we got some pretty good feedback from, a little bit of a deviation from the usual format just due to vacation.
Right.
So thank you guys for indulging us on that. It was pretty fun to do. I enjoyed doing it. And I did want to follow up real quick and just say that I believe in Black Lives Matter. I believe that all lives matter.
Oh, God.
Except for one. Furries don't have rights. They never will have rights. And if I ever run for public office, I will ban it. That is I've just been heated lately. Anyway, sorry. I just wanted to do a quick follow-up on that. But I hope you know where I'm coming from.
There are several problematic things with that statement that we could get into, but we're not going to because we're not talking about that today. I am in too good of a mood recording in person again. So... But I do got to ask, though, did you ever figure out who Star Fox was?
Yeah, I looked into it. It's a video game character.
Yeah.
And also a sex slave for one of the guys that I read that story for.
That's non-canon as far as I know. I don't know. Maybe I have heard that at companies, like big-ass companies, a lot of the creators or animators for like intellectual properties do draw porn of the characters on the side, and it all gets confiscated. And that since it's like official artwork, technically, like they have to keep it. And I did hear if you're like a new showrunner and like your show gets picked up, they'll take you into the room and they'll show you like all the porn of like every famous character you've ever known. They're just like, just get ready because this is going to happen to you next.
So it was him. It was the actual Star Fox guy
I don't
who
know
wrote that story
It could be for all we knew.
with the wolf nipples and stuff.
I don't know. That story was pretty bad. Like, I'm not like, okay, it was a treat to listen to you just try to cringe through furry porn stories. But it was, I gotta say though, it does feel good to be back. Even I was listening to him like, I feel like something's missing from this episode. I'm like, oh, me.
Yeah, everybody, we got Tasker back.
Yeah. Here I am. Here to ruin everything.
No.
With facts.
Oh, God.
Sorry, we had a longing gaze of passion in that moment. Alrighty.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So we're talking about a subject today.
Yes, we are. So that's our recap. But we are actually delving into actually a very, we thought this would be very topical because we've all been talking about it. We've all been thinking about it, and we've all been wondering about it more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
The apocalypse.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
The world is going to hell in a handbasket as we speak.
Oh, yeah. It's like, and it's live on Twitter and on Facebook.
And what more could you want?
Oh,
right?
yeah. And actually, on top of that, we're in the midst of a huge crackdown on a bunch of like sexual abuse allegations on like Twitter for like a bunch of like industry people, a bunch of Twitch people I know are going under, and like a bunch. So we're in really chaotic times, which is perfect for a chaotic episode like this.
Absolutely. And so we're here to tell you guys today and the next episode about different ways the world is going to end for you. Just so you know that it's not only one way that's going to happen. You can look forward to many ways of human annihilation.
It's like a fun little grab bag of how are we going to die, and how are we probably gonna fuck it up for ourselves, because what is it, like I think it was Carl Sagan that says like if we don't destroy ourselves, we'll one day venture into the stars, which is a cool idea, but like it just seemed a little poignant of if we don't destroy ourselves, we'll make it. But so today we're gonna focus on the if we destroy ourselves kind of stuff.
Exactly. So everybody, welcome back to the sluttiest podcast around. Okay.
We have been getting pretty slutty lately.
Oh yeah, it's been hot as shit, and I'm just sweating. My nipples are hard.
Yep. It's quite a sight, and those things are pretty trained up. Like I know you have like these like razor sharp elbows and like shins for some reason. So I imagine those nips are no different.
Diamond cutters.
Disgusting.
Well, today we will be going over the multiple ways the world as we know it could end. Events ranging from global warming to nanotechnology are on the menu. So we hope you guys are in the mood for some apocalypse gumbo.
Wow, you were really excited about that line, huh?
Yeah, I thought it was clever. I thought it was a clever metaphor.
It gets me hungry.
Well, everybody, I want you to start digging an end times bunker and stock up on your favorite boxed variety of mac and cheese, and of course your favorite variety of porno. So let's dive right into this shit. And let's begin by establishing that there are in fact two main categories of events that could possibly lead to the end of the world and human extinction. The first category is known as anthropogenic. Fancy word.
That's a big old. That's something you'd sprinkle in the gumbo.
Yeah, a little anthropogenic.
Damn. Bam.
Boom.
Oh shit, is that copyright? I don't know.
Nah, fuck Emerald, dude. He can suck my left nut. Now, anthropogenic isn't a fancy word for being attracted to your anthropology teacher, as some of you might think. It's actually a word used to describe man-made causes for global catastrophe.
All right, think about your anthropology teacher at that moment, huh?
Yeah, it's just man-meat. That's all he is.
Fucking sick fuck, dude.
God, dude, with that
God,
mustache.
He's like 65, man. He's way over your. He's out of your league.
I know, but he's so experienced. I want to know what it's like.
You're hoping for one of those like where they pull the dentures out and apparently like getting heads like a lot better.
That's a gum job, man.
Jesus.
And the second category is cleverly called non-anthropogenic.
Wow.
And for those missing a decent amount of brain cells, allow me to explain what that means. Non-anthropogenic causes of global catastrophe are natural causes created by Mother Nature herself in order to dwindle down the population of the Earth until there are only 2 of us again, and we have to rebuild civilization and fully embrace incest like in the Bible in order to do so.
Dude, that'd be such a fucked up, like, but it's, human survival. I mean, not that of course I condone that, but like, when there's only 2 people left on Earth. You gotta hope that. Well, first of all, you gotta hope that it is a man and a woman because, I mean, when it's kind of end of the world, that's when like kind of politics don't really matter. It's more of a matter of we need a man and a woman to continue the race because there's only 2 of us left. So
it's a little homophobic of you, but I'll let it slide.
I knew that was coming, but wouldn't that be funny if like there's a man and a woman, but like they're both gay and like they just have to like work somehow try to make it work because like the fate of the humanity is like on their shoulders and stuff.
I just can't get it up right now. It's like it looks like an empty meat carcass, and how do I even just?
I mean, if it wouldn't be so like offensive, it would probably make for good TV. But yeah, not my best pitch. I will say. Sorry, LGBTQ community. I admit my sins.
It's okay, man. I say on behalf of them, it's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Well, and also, guys, just want to point out real quick, this, like we said, this is going to be a 2-part episode. Today, we will be going over the anthropogenic. Next week, we will be going over the non-anthropogenic.
So we're going in man-made. This is the stuff, this is us fucking things up.
Exactly. This is us either being assholes or just being bumbling idiots.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
And who's to say, though, too, I mean, that we can't have a little bit of both. Like, you know, like we're all just like, you know, accidentally create Super AIDS 2.0 and it's killing all of us. And then fucking Yellowstone blows up and then we're all dead.
Yeah, it could be a nice 1-2 combo of both. I'm kind of hoping for that.
I was about to say, yeah, honestly, that's kind of the way I would like it because it's like if we're going to go down, like, dude, dragging it out sounds like the worst. Yeah. Like, it's like saying if Corona was going to kill off the entire human race, like, dude, we're going to be fucking stuck in our houses until like 2045, and I'm going to be an old man by that point.
Yeah, like, dude, why would a beer company destroy the whole world, though?
What?
Corona?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Yellowstone. I was like... Corona jokes. It's funny because there's a beer with the same name.
Yeah. Is that still can I still do that? Are people still laughing at that? So coronavirus is in the news, everybody, and apparently that's the same name as a beer.
Yeah. So in the level, there's a scale of things of outrage in America right now. 1 is the George Floyd murder. 2 is everything Donald Trump's done in his entire presidency. And number 3 is fucking Corona beer jokes.
Well, I'm just trying to stay topical. Yeah. I want to stay relevant.
Look, Nick, I know you're excited to be back in person, but...
Are my jokes bad?
No, that one just was, though. That one was, but...
Okay, well, now that we've laid the groundwork for the 2 categories we will be talking about, let's kick off things in this episode with the anthropogenic causes of global catastrophe and possible human annihilation.
Now, these all sound like really great, like, pop-up titles on, like, a little, like, old... Like, I never really read comics, which is, like, half the reason why most people refuse to accept my status as an anime lover and artist. But, like, dude, I could see that. Like, hold on, what was that again? Global catastrophe and possible human annihilation?
Mm-hmm.
That's some, like... 1970s like comic like DC bullshit or something like that.
Hell yeah, dude. You know I write the best.
This is very true. You have a very promising career as a comic writer.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, put a good word in for me when you become an artist, all right?
I'll try, or I'll just forget our relationship ever happened.
Fuck you. Well, first up on the list, we have a fairly obvious and unfortunately pretty possible one in this day and age, and that is, of course, warfare and nuclear devastation.
Just reminds me of little memory lane here, but there was a time where before we were podcasting, we just played video games all the time, and those long nights of just drinking whiskey and playing Fallout 4 until 4 a.m.
So half of us kind of want it to happen, so we see what happens.
Nice.
But at the same time, I don't think it would be as cool as Fallout.
No, not even close. A nuclear devastation would be devastating. In fact, if you survived, it's one of those, nuclear devastation is one of those things where I would just fucking kill me with the bomb. Like, honestly, I've seen enough what could happen, or like, even like if like just all the power gets knocked out and it's just like gone for good because everyone who knows how to fix it is either dead or just fighting for survival.
Right.
It's just, with the way. Well, let's get into it a little bit more, but.
All right, well, we live in a world right now in which almost every major power in the world has some kind of stockpile of nuclear arms. And to put things into perspective, literally just between the United States and Russia, we have a combined stockpile of 14,700 nuclear weapons. Two countries. And the global count of nuclear weapons is estimated to be around 15,700. So there's only another 1,000 out there that don't belong to the U.S. or Russia. That's fucking horrifying.
And it took 2 of those to level half of Japan. Well, no, not like half. It took out a whole city. And I know some people are thinking like, well, it's a weapon of mass destruction if it's not taking out a whole country. It's like, no, y'all don't realize like a whole city.
A whole city from 2 bombs.
In a second. 2 cities. Each bomb took out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
2 different cities. It was, don't tell me. It was Nagasaki.
Right.
And Hiroshima.
Yeah. Okay.
Hiroshima.
How respectful.
Hadouken.
Yeah. And you have like the fucking man bun on and everything. Japanese piece of shit. You're a scourge to your own people.
Fuck them, man. Look, they attacked Pearl Harbor. All right. And my allegiance is with Hawaii first, Japan second. Always remember that. Try it again, bitches. See what happens. I will personally come over there.
I did hear a story where I guess in the Pearl Harbor movie, this dude like gunned down like 3 planes, and on the American side, he gunned down like 3 planes. He saved like 70 people, and a lot of people complained in the movie that was super unrealistic, but that actually happened apparently.
Why do people have to make such a big fucking deal about like movie shit, like being real or not? It's a movie. Even if it's a historical pick, it didn't say it was like shot for shot the same shit happened. God damn, man.
Well, that's the phrase "truth is stranger than fiction." That does mean sometimes things that actually happen are way more interesting than something that some sweaty guy wrote.
Yeah, that's true. And people need to believe it a little bit more too, I think.
Yeah, and just a little brief side note for everyone out there, when you're playing your shitty anime waifu game, there's some like chubby, sweaty dude who wrote that. And that's something that like sometimes ruins my day, but like you got to remember that like where all this shit's coming from.
Yeah, just remember that, guys. Next time you're playing your anime dating game, remember that.
The Colonel Sander one was pretty funny.
I mean, I'll play that one, but I'm not gonna.
I actually went to school with the artists who did all the character designs for that.
Oh well, shit. There you go.
Yeah, I never met them personally, but like, dude, their work was really good. And I mean, if you just look at the game, it's
pretty sexy.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
So these world leaders, right? These overweight, unattractive world leaders have itchy trigger fingers, just hovering over that big red button, right? Mm-hmm. Now, although it would take a lot for one country to actually send a nuke to another, a lot, but what Japan was able to figure out what that took.
Well, yeah, that was also in the heat of World War II towards the end of it. So it's not that I say it was the right call to make, but tensions were pretty goddamn high. Like,
hey man, look, we don't start wars, we just end them.
Jesus. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! Well, to all of our listeners in Asia, it's been fun.
USA.
If you're listening to this episode, we're gonna miss you, and we appreciate it. But at least we still have the Australians. I have a feeling they'll be through us. They'll be with us through it thick and thin. I'm hoping.
Yeah, because they're like, we don't give a fuck. We don't live in Japan, mate. No, like I said, it would take a lot for one country to send a nuke to another, but the possibility is there.
Yeah, it could definitely happen.
It could definitely happen, and unfortunately, it's probably inevitable. And this doesn't mean that it couldn't happen sooner, though. There is a scenario when it comes to nuclear fallout theory in which a nuclear weapon is mistakenly sent to a country in retaliation to a false alarm.
Dude, that's scary because that almost happened.
Yes.
So if you guys aren't familiar with the story, it was I forget exactly what it was, but there was America sent something towards like Russia.
Yeah.
And
Soviet.
Yeah, Soviet Russia, USSR, and it was just like a surveillance. It was harmless, whatever it was, and they mistook it as a nuclear launch, and I guess like they did at a moment. Somebody had like their finger on the button. Was it in Russia?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and the guy held off because he was just like, No, like this one dude literally saved our entire planet. Like just some guy just at his job. And that's the thing that always like blows my mind to think about is like, we see these situations with like, people in government and given this like immense responsibility. And we assume that these people are equipped for it. But it's like, and I'm sure they are like, they've probably been working in this shit for years. But at the end of the day, they are still human. These are just as human as your grocery store tellers and stuff like that. Like, is that even a word?
Yeah, if you lived in the fucking 1800s.
Jeez, okay.
When was that?
It's more like a bank statement, but like, we'll say like a cashier. So it's like, just because you're in a position of power doesn't, unless you're a fucking sociopath, doesn't necessarily mean you're like, super like on it all the time. Like that pressure must be, and that guy had to go home that night and like lay in bed and just like, it's just, that's so intense to think about. But yeah, this one dude, like, so yeah, when we're saying like this might happen, it's like, we're not just like, oh, speculate. Like, no, this shit almost happened already.
Yeah. And it could happen almost any time. Like if there's a false alarm, if something happens and somebody's just ready to go.
Like in your homeland of Hawaii,
Yes.
remember when they did that?
I remember.
The false missile alarm, and everyone started losing their goddamn minds. Like, and why wouldn't you, dude? Imagine looking at your phone and it's like, oh, it's another Amber Alert. What the? Oh shit! My whole city's about to get leveled, and I'm still wondering. I'm still waiting for that Reddit thread of Ask Me Anything about for the people who confessed to their lovers during that like time, and what happened afterwards when they realized it was a false alarm.
It's so fucking embarrassing. God, what a fucking horrible time that was.
Seriously.
And nuclear weapons aren't the only threat to mankind when warfare is talked about as a cause. Chemical and biological warfare is also a very real threat, just like coronavirus.
You're actually going to love this. I found it last night, and I was going to send it to you, but I just didn't. But it was called, what was it? COVID 911 Insurgency. It's a right propaganda about the cause of coronavirus, where they claim that apparently in the Obama administration they had done a pledge or a donation or some sort of like, they gave money to Wuhan for development of like, medicine or basically their labs and stuff like that. And so what they're saying is that actually Obama was playing 4D chess to develop the coronavirus early. And then when the impeachment didn't go through with Donald Trump, that's when they unleashed the coronavirus, all according to Obama's plan.
I'm not fucking surprised. That actually makes a lot of sense now. I've never trusted Obama. Where's the goddamn birth certificate?
Dude, his biggest controversy was the birth certificate, which didn't have anything to do with how good of a job he was doing. And also the fact that he wore a tan suit, which had nothing to do with the type of job he was doing. I know there was like some like airstrike shit. Like I know that's been the big thing they've been hitting him on. But also Trump did an airstrike that killed a like beloved like Iraq official.
He was
Iran. Fuck.
Yeah, he was the second most powerful person in Iran.
Yeah.
And Trump was like, you know what? You're fired. Sent a fucking missile out there.
Dude fucking murked his ass hard.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you know what? If it wasn't Trump, I feel like it would be more badass than it was.
Yeah.
That's the problem, though. He has ruined his reputation to the point where even if you did something like that, they're like, what a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
But like if Obama did it, I'd be like,
oh yeah, well, dude, when Obama they made the post which is actually a meme now, ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
oh yeah.
Yeah, when they
When they got Osama.
yeah, dude, that shit was hype. I remember like everyone in the nation was just like, dude, like
Yeah.
fuck yeah. So yeah, but yeah, when Trump did it, because it felt like a mistake, because everything he does is kind of a mistake, because the dude doesn't do his job at all. Like,
Nope.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
but this isn't a political podcast. We're getting off topic.
We are
I'm
getting
sorry.
off
We get
topic.
heated about this because there's a very heated times right now.
Yeah, things are, oh my God. In America right now, we're like the only country right now that's like still like crippled by corona while
Yeah.
like everyone else is getting better, because shock, surprise, half the people in our country don't believe in it. And shock, surprise, our president encourages that because he has a cult of personality.
Yep, exactly. I don't believe in it, but I don't believe in it for different reasons.
Yeah.
Like, you show me one person who has coronavirus. I've never seen anybody. I've never seen anybody with coronavirus. I don't know anybody who knows anybody who has coronavirus. So that's why I kind of put it in this little section here with chemical and biological warfare.
All right.
There is a lab in Wuhan, China, a level 4 biolab where the outbreak first began. If you tell me that that isn't a coincidence, or if that is a coincidence, I would tell you that you probably are fucking retarded, because there is no way that is a coincidence. Okay, whatever. All right.
So do you think that? And I'm actually, this is really awesome. I didn't even put it together that this could lead to this conversation. But do you think that coronavirus is an engineered biological weapon?
Yes, and I think that the bats are a scapegoat, because we all know, we get it. All right, China, you eat weird shit. So that they're spreading the rumor that it was made by eating bats, because we would believe it.
Right.
Because we're like, oh, that makes sense. Because like people in China eat shit like that. They eat bats, right? They eat monkeys for sure. That can't be good for you. I don't think you can get coronavirus from it. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I'm pretty sure that it's a biological weapon. It's a weaponized virus that was accidentally released. I don't think they were planning to release it yet.
Oh my God.
But I think it was released on accident. Okay, that's just me though. And I don't want anybody to think differently of me as a person. I'm still a good person deep down. I donate when I'm at the register at the grocery store. They're like, hey, do you want to donate to this dumb kid fund? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll give you like a nickel. I still donate. But I also believe that China fucked up big time.
Or it's just as simple as it just happened and it just spread. I don't think it was made in a lab. I think you fail to understand how fucking crazy hard it is to engineer a virus and to like have it do what you want it to do. Like,
that's the thing too, but we'll get into this more on a different part of this episode. But that's the thing, is sometimes things don't happen the way you want it to. So what if they were working on, I'm not saying that they did it on purpose. I'm not saying that they made it specifically lethal. I'm just saying that maybe they fucked it up somehow. The outcome wasn't what they expected it to be, and they're like, shit. And then it got out.
So you're thinking it's almost kind of more like an umbrella corporation, like Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Like it's just some shit went down and somebody went rogue or something happened, and suddenly this experimental thing got unleashed onto the public, and they're all just taking notes because now they get to see it in action.
Kind of. I kind of think, and I'm not blaming China. Like this could have happened anywhere. So I'm not saying that like China did it or on purpose, but I'm saying you guys dropped the fucking ball, man.
Well, and also too, and just to kind of like, this is a good platform for me to make this observation, but like, regardless of where it happens in China, or if, implying that, some government's creating shit that fucks over everybody, we don't blame the people, don't blame the race, don't blame the ethnicity, blame the people in power, blame the assholes calling the shots.
Yeah.
These guys, they're everywhere. They're in every race, they're in every part of the world, they're in every ethnicity. Blame them. They're fucking using you to fight their battles. They are using you and us, the poor, the middle class, to fight their fights for them, because historically that's what rich people have done, because that's the only way they stay rich, is you keep the poorer fighting each other, and you keep them mad at each other, and you keep racism alive and well. And it's not necessarily that they believe it or not. Like with Trump, I think honestly the dude could care less. He's just a fucking rich asshole, and racism is just convenient for him, so he just keeps on pushing it. And it's, when you're somebody who has no soul, that's super easy to do. And it's like, dude, like China, whatever. Like, dude, I don't care. I honestly, I think the virus was natural. But if you're gonna blame anybody, blame the fucking Chinese nationals. Blame the government. Blame it's just the people in power, the people we need to put in the sights on, not each other.
That's fair. And you know what? If it was natural, they'll blame the Chinese, because you shouldn't be eating bats.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Wow.
So, and now the reason why nuclear devastation
moving on. God damn it.
The reason why nuclear devastation is talked about more so is mainly because we know that countries have nukes armed and at the ready. We know as a fact that there is a big red button in most superpowers of the world, right?
Right.
But as far as weaponized diseases or chemicals, if that kind of shit would be going on, which like we just talked about, trust me, it's happening. Okay, it would be going on behind the scenes, and no one is talking about it. And that reason nobody's talking about it is because the second you start talking about, hey, I think that this so and so in the government or so and so's government is creating weaponized, like biological warfare type shit. They're going to look at you and say, you sound insane. Go back to your job at Burger King and just make my goddamn burger, right? They're going to just say that kind of stuff to you. But guess what? If you believe that the world's superpower nations are not weaponizing viruses and chemicals, then you are either gang stalking people or you're a government shill yourself. That's my platform.
I hate to say it, but like, for as difficult as it is, I wouldn't put it past our government or some shady whatever that are actively trying to do this. That actually is a real concern, because I do think it is kind of ignorant to think that just none of that shit happens or that nobody's trying to do it. And I hate that I'm agreeing with you on this one, but at the same time, like I said, it's just kind of ignorant to me. One of the biggest like reasons why bad things happen is because people choose to just ignore evil in the world. Like, have you ever just met somebody who's just so sheltered to the point when like they finally get out in the world, they're just like, oh, not like that. What was it? There was that couple who like they wanted to prove that like the Middle East wasn't that bad and stuff like that, which nobody asked, but like. And the Middle East is like a hot zone right now, and it's like, and back then especially even more so, because that was like the height of war on terror, where rightfully so, people in the Middle East were pretty goddamn mad because we like, I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of like what's that place called, like Damascus. That city, like if you looked at it like back in its heyday, it looked like it's like almost like as good as like a mall would in like in America. Like it just very like built up. If you look at it now, it looks like a fucking map in Call of Duty because we just destroyed it. So people are displaced. There's, you know, chaos everywhere. And so reasonably, things are kind of in a very bad state. So this fucking white couple are like, oh, let's go over to the Middle East in this hot zone and just prove that, you know, not everyone's bad over there, which is like, dude, that's not really the problem here. It's long story short, they went there and they both got murdered and raped within the first week.
Yeah.
And that's not because, like I said, correlation does not equal causation, because it's not because they went to the Middle East that happened. It's because they went to a place that was devastated by American forces. And then they as Americans decide la-di-da-di-da. Like, dude, like it's going to happen anywhere. Like that's like, okay, I'm trying to think of a good example without really digging a deeper hole.
Look, I'll dig the hole for you.
Oh,
so, I mean, come on, man. They went there, and then you're not blaming them?
Dude.
Okay, let's say this couple was like from California, right? They had two choices. They had to go somewhere. They went to Damascus, or they could go to like Seattle. All right. Damascus, they show up, get raped, and killed.
Right.
Seattle, what do you think's going to happen to them?
Well,
probably nothing.
Well, this because Seattle hasn't been fucking carpet bombed for the past 3 years and have all their every job ever not only gone but completely obliterated. There's guys walking around who's had their whole family killed right in front of them, dude.
So that's an excuse.
It's not an excuse, but it's just fucking stupid to think you could walk into a place like that and walk. That's like me going down to Skid Row and like with like fucking hundreds of dollars taped to my body and thinking that nobody's gonna fucking attack me. Like, dude, it's just stupid. Or whatever. I don't know. I feel like it would be with whatever weapons they had, because this is not a reflection of the human spirit. This is so, dude. So say Los Angeles gets bombed, and now there's just everybody's displaced. And it's just complete chaos. And it's not even they just get bombed. They keep getting bombed. And every single day is who's going to die next and who's going to... Well, guess what? It's pretty similar to a nuclear fallout at Endgame, where it's just complete anarchy, where People are so because it's not about the people who are good. It's about the people who are already bad people to begin with. And when you put themselves in a survival situation, they will eat you alive the second they can to put themselves ahead. And why are we still talking about this?
I don't know, man. You just keep talking about rape and I don't know, man. You're like super fixated on it.
I'm just trying to make a point that it's like, obviously the Middle East is still pretty dangerous. I don't know if I think it's calmed down for sure. But like, dude, it's not a reason to hate people of Middle Eastern descent.
Exactly. That's where this is all coming back. Don't hate the people, hate the game.
Yeah.
That's usually what it comes down to, everybody. No matter what jokes we make, we don't mean it. The Middle Easterns did nothing to you.
Yeah, their government.
What?
Oh, their government and our government did it.
Yeah.
Remember, we're the foot soldiers for the rich people. They're making us fight their fights.
Oh,
God.
It ain't me. It ain't me.
Jeez. I don't know what it is about having you in person that like makes me say these like possibly racy things and like anti-government sentiment that's probably going to get like, I know we're already on a list, but I know for a fact if the episodes just stop after this, or if this episode corrupts, we know why.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it, man. Look, we just make jokes for the people, and if the government can't handle that, then you know what? Maybe they should go to Damascus, and maybe they should get choked to death.
Oh my God, I wonder if they rebuilt that place. Like,
I hope so, man. Maybe it's got a nicer mall than we do now.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. So if you are in the Middle East right now and you're listening to this, I don't know. It's been a couple of years since we've gotten any updates on the Middle East. So
Yeah.
I don't know. For all we know, shit might be like spick and spam and we're just being racist.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, our bad.
Okay, well, let's move on. And next on the list, we come to another hot topic from 2013. And that, of course, is global warming.
So, Nick, are you a believer or not?
You know what? You would think I wouldn't be, but it has been getting fucking hot out here.
It is smoking.
Like hotter and hotter every year. Look, we live in Southern California, my dude, and it is every year. It is at least a couple degrees hotter than the year before in the summer.
It gets worse every time.
It's unbearable. So you know what? I'm going to say, I believe in it.
Oh, yeah.
I believe in it.
And if the whole satellite images and the fact that all of our polar ice caps are melting and like all the shit with the weather changes and the natural disaster patterns that are getting all jacked up, like it's pretty obvious at this point. I'm surprised it's not common knowledge, but like, yeah, dude, what was it like last year? It's like we hit, I think, like 115.
Dude, yeah, it was hotter than a fucking rattlesnake's taint.
Mm-hmm. And I know some places, whenever you say how hot a place is, there's always some asshole out there who's gonna be like, oh yeah, it was hotter in fucking Chile or it was hotter in fucking Arizona. It's like, dude, don't suck, like, fuck off, dude. Like, it's just like hot. If it's over 100, it's really hot. Like,
we should all have just sympathy for each other instead of seeing whose fucking heat is the biggest, in their pants. Mm-hmm. Let's just have like a sympathy, a little moment of silence for all the people out there. Arizona, Texas, Nevada, California, Mexico, Argentina, Chile,
yes,
Brazil, Venezuela,
or all the people who just don't.
Nicaragua,
yes,
Honduras.
Yeah,
That's Honduras, a Pokemon.
Oh my God. A fire-based Pokemon. Dude.
Yes. Oh,
very good. Very good.
Quite.
Yeah, but also to a shout out to everyone who doesn't have AC. I lived without AC for like 3 years because I lived in Long Beach for a little while, and they didn't. It's not that they don't believe in AC, but it was like it's a beach town, so there was no need for it. But now that it got to be like 95, 100, suddenly life became a living hell. So shout out to everyone who's living that fan life right now.
Yeah, I know I am, boys and ladies.
Saving that money.
Now, global warming is exactly what it sounds like, unless you there listening to this podcast happen to be Al Gore, U.S. dictator Donald Trump, Ted Nugent, the Nuge, or Rush Limbaugh or Sarah Palin, okay? And basically, it's just the globe getting warmer, okay? It's called global warming. There's something that you learn in like 8th grade English class called context clues, right? And context clues are something that you can use to figure out the meaning of something even if you don't have the direct meaning of it. So if I tell you that we're talking about global warming, what does that lead you to believe global warming is, Tasker.
That the world's getting hotter?
Yes. And this is due to the greenhouse effect, which was a pretty fucking sick experimental noise rock album by Josh Groban, right? The greenhouse effect. But it's also the effect of trapped solar radiation in our atmosphere due to increased usage of fossil fuels. Now, you see, normally what is supposed to happen is the sun's heat and radiation comes through our atmosphere, penetrates it deeply, right?
Deep.
So all the way through, actually. So like kind of like a murderous penetration.
Oh, jeez.
And then what happens is the radiation and the heat does its job, right? It feeds the plants in photosynthesis.
Right.
It evaporates some water so that our sea levels don't fucking just drown all of us. It gives us vitamin C, just like I give you vitamin D. And then
Thank you.
What it does at that point is it bounces off the surface of the earth and it's supposed to go back out the atmosphere and leave us. The problem is, as the years go on, we as a species are burning more fossil fuels, and it releases gases such as carbon dioxide, which is the most prevalent one, into the air. And these gases prevent the solar radiation from being able to fully leave the atmosphere, therefore continually warming the globe because the heat is just kind of around.
Like a big old greenhouse.
It's all coming together.
So yeah, it's like being stuck in a car, with the windows rolled up, the heat's got even with the windows rolled down, like, that shit gets hot real quick. And when the heat has nowhere to go, it gets exponentially worse. So we're thinking of something similar to that on a global scale. I mean, I know there's there's been years of like scientific research going into this and stuff, but like, I find it very interesting that a lot of these end of the world situations have to do with people in power fucking us over, being stupid and having their own self-interest over their people.
Not funding renewable energy sources instead of fossil fuels.
Yep. And it's like, what was it? There was that Onion article before where they were just like, scientists, he's like, constantly remind us that green energy's ready to go whenever we're ready for it. But it's just a bunch of fucking rich assholes always ruin everything. And that historically, that's always happened. And now on a global scale, it's like I said, it's like, They trick you into being compliant by some people, because the thing is I think entertainment industry is the red herring. Oh, well, everyone's on their phone, everyone's all distracted. It's like, nah, that's not what's keeping you off. What's really happening. It's them pitting you against another person, because hatred is a much stronger way of controlling people, and that's how they're controlling us. Like I'm gonna keep pushing this, man. People in power, man, they're controlling us because they keep us fighting. Like I said, they stay in power and they keep making money because what they do is, you should hate this guy. Why? Because made up fact. You're right. Cool. Buy my guns. Yep, you got it. And then we all die and they walk away with all the money in the world. Like, guys, stop hating people because of how they look. Let's turn on. Okay, no.
Whoa. Jesus Christ. Jesus, you guys almost just witnessed a revolution break out.
I've been talking too much of my the people I know in Santa Cruz.
That was a job that I should have done. Like, I should have been the one saying that, Tasker. Are you doing okay?
I don't know, dude. Are we reversing roles or?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I hate to sound like the sound one right now, but my goodness. Just let's just raise up against the government, huh? Is that what you were about to say?
Never, dude. That's a fucking terrible idea.
Damn. Impressive, though. I like your funk.
Jesus Christ. Okay, this episode, if you're listening to this now, like I'm wondering if that might actually get us like actually banned.
We'll give you guys an update. If you don't hear from us again, we're banned or Tasker's in jail. It's one of the two.
Yeah,
he'll be in Guantanamo getting a meat sandwich by a guy named Ahmed.
Didn't Guantanamo get shut down though?
I don't know. Did it? I don't keep up with that shit. It probably did.
There's a lot of very illegal things going on there.
Hey, lucky for you then.
Yeah, no, cool.
Federal prison's not much better.
No, I was gonna say I'm fucked either way. I don't think you can get arrested for.
No, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah,
you can say anything. Say it. Go ahead.
No, I'm scared, dude.
No, you're good. You're fine.
No, I'm not. Fine.
I've said worse about the government on here, so don't worry. And you never finished your sentence either, so.
True. No proof.
No proof. They can suck my left nut.
Oh, yeah.
And although not directly correlated with this anthropogenic disaster, I'm sure many of you have heard about a hole in the ozone layer forming over Antarctica. Mm-hmm. And the problem with the hole is that it allows much more heat, radiation, and UV to pass through into the world, exacerbating the effects of global warming, especially since the hole is directly above, like, just ice, right? Which is causing the sea level to slowly rise as ice caps melt.
Well, yeah, it's like you pour a drink, you put some ice in it, the ice melts eventually, and then suddenly there's more water in your cup. Now think of that on a global scale.
Fuck.
Yep. Oh, dude, if all that shit melts, and that's the thing, it's like I know people have been crooning about that for like ever, and everyone just like tells them to shut the fuck up and go back to smoking your weeds and making tie-dye t-shirts. But like, yeah, I mean, it's sad that polar bears are dying and shit, but like, if all of Antarctica melted and just, I wouldn't even say double, but like definitely like 0.5 times the oceans, like, dude, goodbye coastal cities. Like, dude, we're fucked.
Yeah, and that's the problem with all this is it's leading to rising sea levels, which we'll talk about. But it's like it's a slow crawl, but it's happening. So that's something to be wary of.
It's one of those things where, like coronavirus, it's not true, and I think it's stupid and a hoax until it happens to me. Or just like getting hit by a car. That'll never happen until it does. And that's the thing, is not to say that you should be paranoid about everything forever, but like you can't just assume you're invincible until it happens to you, because guess what? The people who it happened to thought the same goddamn thing. Oh, there's like, dude, fucking, I'm going to go to the grocery. That's like one of my favorite phrases is the fact that you're more likely to die in a car accident on the way to buying a lottery ticket than you are to actually win the lottery. And like, well, I also even think too of like, I was watching some of those Chris Hansen To Catch a Predator things. And these dudes, like, they were just thinking it's just be a normal night, gonna meet up with an underage kid.
Oh, is that a normal night for you, Tasker?
Okay, I'm not even gonna dignify that. That's no. These fucked up guys are thinking they're gonna go and do this very illegal thing with a minor and go home and just like get away with it. And they think nothing of it. But they don't realize that the fucking sweaty dick of Chris Hansen's going to smack down on their head and knock them into prison for a couple years, and that their entire life is going to change in a second. So, you know what, guys? Like, just be conscious about that, I guess.
Yeah, it's all a slow burn. I don't know how we got from a hole in Antarctica to pedophilia, but I like where you're going. Be aware of everything.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, Tasker. I'm getting in something.
Oh. This just in Channel 36, we now go live to our correspondent, Mr. Stratosphere, out on the field to talk about the hole forming inside of him. Stratosphere, what's going on out there? Thank you for that.
Now, the problems with global warming are very real ones, but it's a slow burn. If you get it, a slow burn?
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
Okay. Some issues that are starting to arise include rising sea levels, an increase in frequency and severity of extreme weather conditions and natural disasters, loss of biodiversity, stresses to food production, an increased spread in infectious diseases, and quick, adaptable mutations of microorganisms, including viruses. So as you can imagine, global warming isn't just... Okay, now I'm not usually one to take this kind of side for these things, but if you ever hear somebody saying, oh, the planet's getting warmer, so don't worry about it, global warming is not real, it is real, and there are many repercussions of global warming that are going on that you don't know about. And now you know, because we just fucking told you.
Oh, yeah. You fuck with the ecosystem. You fuck with everything. That's like why everyone was freaking out about when bees were dying. Because people were like, oh, like, who the fuck cares? They sting me, and that makes me angry. It's like, dude, like, if any part of our, like, the life cycle on Earth gets interrupted, like, obviously, you've probably heard the story of, bees pollinate flowers, and if bees are completely gone, very little is out there to keep pollinating the flowers, so then we might see a decrease in those, and then if we see a decrease in that, there might be another plant that might rely on that, and then it's just a sort of it's like a butterfly effect.
Exactly. It's like a butterfly effect, and believe it or not, guys, a lot of the vegetables that you eat are actually flowers of a plant. So fuck you.
Well stated, as always.
Thank you. I know my arguments are logical and well thought out.
Oh, as usual. I know you do your homework.
All right, well, next up, we have the scenario out of all the anthropogenic ones that I personally fear the most, as you can probably imagine and believe will happen eventually, artificial intelligence.
Oh, I have some opinions, but continue.
Okay. An AI has been a popular topic for decades, and honestly, it most likely started getting a lot of attention when the original Terminator came out in 1984.
That must have been a scary day.
A very scary day.
Oh, did it come out in 1984?
Yes.
Oh, that's hilarious. Just like the George Orwell book. No wonder everyone was losing their mind.
Sounds fucking horrifying, right?
Yeah.
I don't believe in coincidences.
Mm-hmm.
Another reason for the attention to artificial intelligence and its possible negative outcome is the fact that as the years go on, so many advancements are being made in the field, almost to scary levels.
Well, if you think about it, the internet became an at-home thing in 95 or something like that. Not too long ago. The internet is only 25 years old, 25 or 30 years old. That's insane. If you really think about it. And then cell phones finally started to get some traction in the early 2000s. Cell phones as a concept and as a thing is a 16-year-old concept. It's not that old. Most people were still born before that shit was commonplace. So if that doesn't show you how, and it took how long to invent the printing press, technology is definitely exponentially getting crazier and crazier.
Yeah, and especially when it comes to artificial intelligence, there's things that it's called artificial intelligence for a reason. They learn and adapt on their own. And there are some AI that are able to find power sources all on their own, for example. And there are some that can even independently choose targets to attack with a weapon without order. This is literally the beginning of Skynet.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's kind of...
How are you not freaking out right now?
Well, it's kind of cute to think of the robot going plugging itself in, get a little
Must
robot
find
net.
power source.
Yeah.
That feels better. It's said that at a certain point, artificial intelligence will achieve super intelligence, which is what I've been called before.
How humble.
Super intelligence is a major issue because at that point, the AI will be able to outsmart and outmaneuver humans and our limited, dumb, meat-filled caveman brains.
Mm-hmm.
Comparatively. And with superintelligence comes the ability to create more of its own kind. And with more of its own kind as a species, they will have goals of their own. And with goals of their own, we as humans might stand in their way as an obstacle. And what else would an emotionless bunch of fucking robotic sex dolls do other than wipe us off the face of the earth to achieve those goals?
It is logical.
And this is 100% man's fault as we are playing with dangerous ideas and even more dangerous technologies because we think it's cool.
Yeah.
And it's not just Tasker and I being paranoid about these goddamn robots. Robots?
Robots. That's how they used to say it back in the day. But now it's just, it depends on your accent.
Robot.
Great
minds of the time, such as Stephen Hawking, Elon Musk, and Bill Gates, have also expressed concern over AI and how it could become detrimental to the human race in the future.
But here's, I kind of have to, I got to make my point now because, yes, the prospect of AI and self-replicating machines and some would even argue as the next step in evolution of mankind is transferring our brains into artificial intelligences. And so that way we could live forever, etc. But I mean, I don't have a lot of experience in this, but for anybody who is a coder or anybody who has worked with these machines or my one of my brothers, he works with the self-driving car. And my favorite thing was I was talking to him about it. I was like, so what's it like doing that? When's the robot invasion going to take over? And he very seriously turned to me and said, if you realize how stupid robots are, you would never worry about it. Apparently it's robots we are so far away from ever creating something even remotely close to super intelligence. I heard a story where so they're testing their self-driving car, and of course it has sensors built in to where if it collides with something, it stops automatically. You know, a good feature because, you know, if, you know, a self-driving car hits a human, you want to make sure, like, you know, damage is minimized. So what people would do is they would see it's the self-driving car like testing, and they walk by and they just like slap it on the back and
Just give it a spank,
and the whole thing would stop, and they would have to deploy somebody to like retrieve the car and stuff like that. Like, it's like
your brother sounds like a government shill.
he might be, for all I know.
No, but he's right. We are far off from this, but this is a possibility if we keep going in this direction. That's the problem, I think.
Yeah, because rogue AI it is really scary. Like, it is a horrifying thought to think about. But like, you know,
not in our lifetime.
No,
luckily.
not even.
So we're good.
Honestly, I think if something is going to kill us as a species, I don't think it's going to be AI. I would actually rank that pretty low on the list of like things that would actually decimate us. Like, I think we're far more likely to blow ourselves up or like heat the planet to like unlivable conditions way before because also this is like a lot of this would probably be a mistake. You know, when AI generally destroys the planet, it's a mistake that happens. And like,
yeah, like an iRobot.
Like an iRobot. But like, I just it's already hard enough to like make a robot do menial tasks like plug itself in, and like all these things also have hella troubleshooting. And most of the time, like, I don't know about you, man, but how many times has your phone fucked up on you or your computer fucked up on you just because? Like, dude, that's kind of the nature of what we're dealing with here. Is these things, even when they're working perfectly, sometimes just don't work.
Yeah, and you know what? I think everybody can rest assured we're fine, but it's always better safe than sorry because you never know.
Yep.
Like, you never know. It could be an accident. It could be, what if some big dick genius comes out of nowhere and just makes the first one, right? I just want you guys to all be prepared.
Yeah.
Because Tasker, when iRobot starts knocking down your door asking if you want to join them, you can't because you're not a robot.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not losing any sleep over it, but I mean, I'm no stranger to being wrong. So if it happens, you know,
I mean, I haven't slept in weeks after thinking about this.
Yeah, all I got to say is, what is it? Actually, there's a good quote for Rick and Morty for that. It's like, well, if you're going to kill me, I only ask that you do it quickly.
There's never a good quote from Rick and Morty.
I'm
just kidding.
maybe from season 3, but I don't know. I love
Oh, man. No, you're right, though. I'm not worried about it. I'm not too worried about it, but it is something that philosophers who think about this kind of stuff and researchers look into. So it's something on the horizon. It's something that people need to be aware of that's happening in the future.
It's also very good, really good fodder for science fiction. And
yes,
we get a lot of really cool stories from it. So to me, I don't know. I think AI taking over, I think that's more of a fiction thing. Like, I actually really honestly don't think it's going to happen.
I kind of wish it would.
Yeah.
That's the problem, right?
Well, it's because you want to get the big old like ammo strap and like Gatling hand, like Barrett from Final Fantasy, and just start like mowing robots down, shaved head and everything with a scar on your face.
I kind of want to be that guy, like the Rambo of the end times with robots, but I would die very quickly, so...
Has there ever been a movie about that where it's like, you know, obviously we've had like, you know, robot takeover movies, and I mean, there's like Terminator, but that's like mostly just like running away from it.
Yeah.
Have we ever just had some like kind of like how they do in Doom, where it's like you're fighting demons from hell, but it's just this like jacked, like roided up, like methed out crazy dude who's just an all action movie of him just killing robots? Has that ever happened?
No, it could now though. Make sure. Hey, actually, we might have to cut this. So you don't want anybody stealing your idea.
This is very true. But if you're listening out there and that movie does exist, please let us know. I am very interested.
Yes, I need new fat material.
Oh my God.
Well, now that we have the official Close Encounters stance on the current state of artificial intelligence, we would like to take this time and welcome our guest speaker to the show. Hello, Herbert. Thank you for joining us today. Lovely to have you. And if we may, we have some questions for you about this controversy, since you are on the minority opposing side. Okay, fuck, marry, kill. We have Stephen Hawking, Elon Musk, Bill Gates. Go.
Okay, dude.
What?
We have a guest, and you're already blowing it.
How am I blowing it? It's technically relevant.
It's not really. Like, okay, how about we ask a question of, being that you've been in the studio and you've heard our take on this, is I have the take that artificial intelligence is something to not be worried about. What's your opinion on this? Like, what's your stance in terms of like the robot rights, like feeling? Like, I don't know. What's your thoughts on the matter? I don't think that was appropriate.
Hold on. Can you repeat that one more time? What did you fucking say about my mother?
Dude, I think he was comparing your... I mean, I know the translation's a little hazy, but I think he was comparing your mother to my waifu, saying that they both belong in the garbage.
Jesus Christ.
That's okay, I don't know about this. I think this is a bad idea.
Okay, look, okay, I'm going to ask you one more question, a serious question. If you don't answer it properly, I will be talking to your publicist.
Okay, holy fucking
Oh,
shit.
okay,
That's
it. Get
incorrect.
this guy
No,
off the
no,
fucking
dude,
show.
fucking One Piece.
Get him off the
after
show.
that. Dude, no, it's not a waste of an arc. It was a fucking good...
Okay,
Dude,
no.
what the
Everybody,
fucking-
you, robot,
Dude, shut
you,
the fuck
Tasker,
up.
stop it.
No, dude, he's talking about the fucking Dressrosa
Herbert,
arc. I finally
Herbert.
just got to it. It's episode 600.
Herbert.
Dude.
Tasker,
What?
Herbert, Tasker,
What?
Herbert,
What?
Tasker, I need you both to shut the fuck up for 1 second. It's bad enough that you are insulting his waifu, whatever the fuck that means. But I need you to also recognize the fact, Herbert, that you brought up anime in general, which pisses me off, okay? You don't come on to our show and bring up anime. Tasker can do that.
I can.
Get him out of here.
Dude, I can't
Get him
do
outta
this. This is fucking stupid. This was all your idea, too.
No,
we need to cut this
no.
bit. This is shit.
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Yeah, get the fuck out.
Get out of here, you fucking robot.
Wait, is that a countdown? Dude,
Shit.
get him out. Get him out. Cut it.
Fuck. Okay.
Well, that was awkward.
After, okay, Tasker, I need you to do me a favor, buddy, and we gotta talk about this ahead of time. You can't just bring guests in with and expect me to be able to handle that next time. Okay.
Okay, if I end up being the person who did it, then I will definitely take responsibility. But
I'm pretty sure you called Herbert's publicist and brought him in here.
I don't think that was the case.
Whatever. All you have to know is there is scrap metal now in your backyard. I took care of this situation.
It's that lawn is never gonna grow back, but hey, at least we're safe. So welcome back, everyone.
Okay, well, now that we've got that fucking shit show out of the way, sorry again about that, guys. We will try to book better guests. Tasker.
It's a new thing we're trying, and obviously, it's going to be rocky, if we're making big changes to the show, but we're going to do our best.
Okay, well, let's move on to our next cause of man-made human devastation. Right, and that's nanomachines. And for this one, I'm gonna have Tasker kind of take the reins on this one.
Oh yeah, no, this is something that it's always been an interesting concept to me because it's also been terrifying. But nanomachines, nanorobots, little nano creatures.
Yeah, how do they work?
Well, first of all, I do gotta say there is a difference in nanomachines and nanotechnology.
Nuh-uh.
There is a huge difference. So nanotech is a developing science that has promising applications in medicine and electronics, which mankind has been experimenting with for a while. And in case you didn't know, in terms of what a nano-sized thing is, 1 nanometer is 1/1000th of a meter.
So what I want you guys to do right now is kind of picture what my dick would look like, and then that's about it.
The nano?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I heard a joke online one time. It's like, my dick is so small that when I put it in my girlfriend, her immune system started fighting it.
Oh, fuck.
Little biology humor for you guys. So we've been experimenting with nanotechnology since the 2000s, and has actually led to the creation of things like graphene, which is like that really super strong material. I'm not really sure what the application is on that. I'm sure there's a ton, but it was really helpful. Or non-Newtonian fluids, which the way that works is it's like basically weird shaped nanoparticles that we engineered drifting in oil. So the best way to describe it is one of the best applications of a a non-Newtonian fluid would be to use them as speed bumps, because the way they work is if you move fast over it, it has a more solid property, but if you move slow over it, it has a more liquid property. So if you have, like, they've done this on Mythbusters too, where they have a big vat of it. If you run, you can just run across it as if you're running across water. But if you just walk, you'll sink into it. So they're saying if they use that as speed bumps, so if you are at the speed limit, you could just drive across it as if it was flat ground. But if you're going too fast, it solidifies and, you get bumped.
Interesting. That's weird. It's like a magic jizz.
It kind of is. Actually, a lot of people in sci-fi and like fiction use nanotech as like a sort of a filler for magic, because, like, if magic can't do it, nanotech can.
That's a good motto.
Yeah,
that's a good motto for that.
I support it. But so of course, nanotech is different from nanomachines, which are, of course, tiny microscopic machines that do microscopic things. And though currently we are not sending tiny nanorobots into our bloodstream or anything like that, we can also consider doing stuff like altering proteins and all that stuff that we do on a molecular level as nanomedicine, which we use to treat disease and disorder. So it's like we do have nanotechnology in practice today, but it's all pretty low key. It's all still a developing science. It's not really something, like I said, we're not shrinking people down and throwing them into like people's esophagus like we're Jimmy Neutron or something like that.
Brain blast.
Mm-hmm. Science fiction, however, has taught us it's not what it's doing now, but what it could do. So with nanotech, we're talking, super healing or intelligent armor. Kind of like, I never played it, but like the final boss in Metal Gear Rising, he has like, nanomachines that, like, every time you hit him, it just immediately activates and becomes like a shield right there.
That's, what that reminds me of, kind of? Is the new-ish armor of Iron Man in Infinity War.
Oh.
How it morphs. I'm pretty sure he said he used nanotechnology.
Yep. It's very prevalent in a lot of, like, to this day. Yeah, in most media. And you could use it for, like, ultra strength, or to fly, or to be able to, like, eat up whatever it's in its path. That's where the apocalyptic theory comes in. So the apocalyptic theory of nanomachines destroying the world is known as the gray goo theory, where a swarm of self-replicating nanobots consume all matter around them for energy and continue to do so until all life has been exterminated. This is a heavy spoiler right now. If you've ever played the game Horizon Zero Dawn, just skip this part really quick. Nick, do you care about me spoiling the game?
Yeah, I was really looking forward to playing Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh my god. Yeah, that thing is the world got destroyed by like nanomachines. Like they were self-replicating. They were like able to like use biomass as a way to create energy. So basically when they went rogue, they just started consuming everything.
Yeah, that's scary. That's like what's it called? A plague of locusts, but even 1,000 million times worse. That could just eat everything, and then we're all dead.
Yep, and very quickly too. And that's the scariest thing about it, is how efficiently it would be able to destroy everything. Of course, the term gray goo comes from the idea that a huge cluster of nanomachines would appear to the naked eye as a giant cloud or gooey mass of silver.
Gray goo.
Mm-hmm. Not the kind of load you want in your face.
Nah, I'd like a different load in my face.
We can arrange that.
Okay.
This concept has been used in a variety of media as a primary antagonistic force, and it can almost be comparable as to a virus or like a tiny unstoppable army. There's other cases that are similar but not quite the same. This is another spoiler. If for any of you who've read Kurt Vonnegut's Cat's Cradle or care about it, Nick, do you care if I spoil this?
I thought Kurt Vonnegut killed himself in his attic because he didn't like how his music was being used for, like, you know what I mean, from Nirvana?
Oh, my God, dude.
Is Cat's Cradle a song from them?
Oh, my God, I'm going to quit. No. Kurt Vonnegut, it's a short story, Jesus Christ. So, Cat's Cradle, of course, there's a substance in it called Ice 9, and what Ice 9 was is in the book, it was a fictional chemical compound meant to make soldiers traveling through swamps easier by you just drop it in and it freezes the swamp over and you could just walk through like no big deal without sinking because ice is easier to deal with than swampland. But he realized very quickly after inventing it that, oh shit, this thing will basically turn, if it comes in contact with any water, will immediately freeze it. And that's pretty fucking dangerous. Like if you touch it, it'll freeze all the water in your body and you're dead. So he locks it away. It's this whole big plot point. But here's the big spoiler is there's all this shit that happens. And finally at the very end, like there's this like a plane crashes because of some bullshit. And some dude who had like the last sample of Ice 9 like wanted to be buried with it or something like that. Plane crashes, it destroys his building, it knocks his coffin out, launches him into the ocean. And
the whole ocean?
Yep. And
wow.
The entire world freezes in a second. And it's like the apocalypse. Like that's how that book ends. Huh. It's the end of the world. Like
that's pretty dope.
Yeah,
that's
see,
cool.
I thought you would like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I can get down with that.
You're talking shit, but I was like, no, dude, this is Vonnegut has some good ass stories. And then also too, if we're going back to nanomachines real quick, pretty sure the robots in Terminator get all that, you know, when they get all gooey and stuff and they walk through walls and shit, that's like nanomachines.
Oh.
But there's also the idea of using nanomachines as a way to like boost ourselves and like, you know, creating super soldiers, which could cause a new world order or some shit like that. Like there's a lot that could be done when you can control things on a molecular level. And it's also very difficult to detect. But of course, I think the most overarching thing is like imagine too, being able to control a nanomachine, like, dude, assassinations, you just send a nanomachine out, go into your target's ear, go into their brain. I don't know no, probably up their nose. That'd be faster. And just like give it a shock and just finish them off or a little poison and you'd be none the wiser. Like nanotech, like that shit, like if you use it as like a like murder thing, or if it just straight up just starts to like self-replicate, like, and even if they're not eating everything, if they're just self-replicating just for funsies and they just can do it fast enough where they just suddenly they just take up all the space and we all just get squished to death. That's a thing too.
I feel like you've thought about this before, which is okay. It's okay. But I don't want you in a lab anytime soon because you might be the person to make this happen and then the world will end.
Well, lucky for you, I did not do well in any of my science classes and stuff. And I like building computers and stuff, but like that's about as far as I go.
That's fair. That's okay. That's fine. Just don't unleash the fucking nanotech on us, please.
I am not nearly savvy enough to pull that off.
Okay, guys. So really quick, we still have 2 more sections to go through, unfortunately, but we are running out of time here in the studio. I gotta get out and get my butthole bleached.
Yeah. It's very important. You got to do that monthly, right?
Yeah, monthly. It gets dark in there.
Yeah, that's true, especially for your budding webcam career.
My OnlyFans will be up next month. You can start donating to that as well.
Really expect those butthole pics. But yeah, no, this episode ended up being a really great discussion one for us. And this ended up just taking a lot longer than we expected. So instead of rushing what we have left, you know, we're just gonna give it to you in an extra part, so we could give it the love and attention it deserves.
Exactly. So we'll be doing like a half and half next episode. We'll finish off the anthropogenic. We'll get into the non-anthropogenic, and then we'll do a part 3 and finish off that non-anthropogenic goodness.
Yep, exactly. And hopefully we'll still be on the air by that point because we got a little risque.
Yeah, you guys might not hear some of the things we said.
Depending on how much we edit, that statement I just made might not make any sense.
Oh, it'll be in there.
Oh, no.
But you'll see. I'm leaving most of it in.
Oh, great. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Like we said, we were very excited to finally record in person again. It feels real good to get our regular energy back and, you know, to see Nick play with his titties, which he's doing currently. It's pretty...
How was it?
Count Chocula episode is in the works. Obviously, you know, with us going back to like recording in person, like we had this whole system set up when we were distanced, you know, working remotely, where we were able to kind of like split up all the data. But now the time's come to kind of like compile it.
Yeah.
So we have to do a really slow process with that because we want to make sure it's done securely and safely. So don't worry about it. We're getting to it. Like we said, it's we know it's long and we know it's been a hard journey, but we have high hopes for what we're putting together.
Guys, think about it. We put both of our minds together now on all the research we've done. Imagine how thick this outline for Count Chocula is going to be. All right, but it's going to take a while to put it together. Just be patient. You've already been patient this long. You can wait a little bit longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like when we finally do the episode, it's just we might as well just do a 24-hour episode. You know, like almost maybe just like live streaming or something like that. Like I don't know, because it's gonna be a lot, dude. Like we're definitely biting off way more than what we can chew. But at the same time, that's kind of what you do when you're an investigative reporter.
Yeah, exactly. We're here for the truth about Count Chocula. So if we do a live stream, don't be surprised if his publicist swats us.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get swatted hard.
Yeah. But it'll be worth it.
Yeah, they're going to take a look and be like, hey, I know where he bought that candle. That's from blah, 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 blah. We got their address.
I know where that bedsheet came from.
Yeah. Oh, but till then, thank you for listening. If you're listening to us on iTunes, or if not, you could leave us a rate and review there. A 5-star would be super sick to get us more notice, so we can get more of our little collective here to commiserate. Follow us on Spotify, please. On Instagram, we are at CEOTPK. On Twitter, at CEOTPK1. Facebook, you can follow us at Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. You can email us at ceotpk1@gmail.com. Discord, Nick and I are pretty much always there. Discord.gg/lowercase b capital. I did it again. Capital 6.
Take capital 6. Don't worry, man. Look. I know. I get it. It's just like you rapid fire, and then sometimes the 6 gets capitalized.
Yeah, and that's okay, man. Sometimes it's the 6 needs attention. I just wonder what a lowercase 6 looks like.
No, you don't even want to know. It looks like my dingaling.
That's the secret of the 4th dimension, is figuring that out. So discord.gg/lowercase b, number 6, capital C, capital T, number 5, capital M, capital X. If you feel like we deserve some money, you can donate to us at ko/fi.com/ceotpk. We are still working on the YouTube right now.
Yeah.
I know I had some upload issues, and I just got really mad about it, and then I just drank myself to oblivion. So we're working on that. But thank you guys for tuning in. Very excited to have you all with us and to go on this crazy journey. I hope you don't have to deal with the legal repercussions we might.
Yes, so stay inside, stay safe, and just remember, whether the world will end by your hand or by the hand of your government official, the truth is out there.
It's not. You definitely look like military.
Special forces.
Yeah.
Special education forces.
Keep that in.